have come in and just everyone's absolutely hit it off. Like, and I'm happy that you fit in as well with the girls and like
Yeah.
all the
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Button 91. Listen, it's crazy in the dunya. Listen, it's your favorite relationship coach. I'm here to talk to you guys about body language once more again. Listen, let me just say this now. I already know that Umar is not feeling Ayo, and I'm probably sure that you already knew that already. But I'm going to show you the body language that proves that. And also, I think Ayo is also a little bit awkward. I've said this from the very beginning of the season, that he's not as spicy as he likes to think he is. He's tall, he's handsome, he's good looking. He's never had to really work on his game. And that shows, because the way that Umar's got him twisted up, I can tell. Brother hasn't seen any kind of good works and hasn't had pressure on him. And when pressure's on him, he go and fold like a piece of paper. I've said this before. If you go to my early reviews, you'll see it there. Okay? Listen, as some shame, as some class, we'll do a part 2 of these videos as well later on today. But I gotta prove that Umar is not feeling Ayo by first showing you the body language. But before we do anything else, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you click on that bell button for notification of the uploads as well. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. I just want to say yay for me, because we're on like day 6 and I am still here. Okay, that is a win for me. I usually get to the first week, 3 or 4 days, I quit. I can't lie to you, but I'm on day 6. Yay for me. Okay, consistency, guys. Get me. All right, new mindset, my guy. All right, cool. Let's go. So, listen, I want to go back quickly. Actually, I can go forward. Actually, we're going to play a little bit of clip, and I'm going to show you something beautiful. Okay, body language. Watch this. As you can see with Uma, where she's positioned, all right, her body's actually leaning away from him. Now, I've got to take off there because copyright's going to give a mad thing. Now, her body's leaning away from him. She's got her head more closer to him, but her body's actually away from him. You can see him, he's leaning in. Remember I told you about Ayo, how he was sitting in the beginning of the season when he was talking with Mimi, that he was always sitting very straight on and he turned his body. In this scenario, he's not doing that. His whole body is turned towards her. Look, his whole body's slanted at an angle towards her, and then he's talking, right? So much different, much more different body language than what he has with Mimi. And I'll show you him and Mimi's body language a little bit later on. It's more comfortable. He's, you know, I can see that he's moving a bit more close to Mimi a little bit as well. But the way that Mimi is, yeah, it's telling me she don't wanna let him have any control. I'm not saying that Uma doesn't like him at all. I think she does find him attractive. I think she sees he's an attractive man. Is she feeling him right now? No. Why? Because I think she likes to play a game. And that's the honest truth. Uma is somebody, like she said herself, she has to keep her cards close to her chest, and she's like a flower that opens up very slowly. But not only that, I think she's very guarded, and I think she's playing her own little game, all right? She likes to draw men in, and then gets to play whatever game she's playing. So if I'm Ayo right now, I got to pull back a little bit, just a little bit. I need a little bit more of a pullback. And the reason why I'm saying that is because she wants to make sure that you're locked in before she makes any movement. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right? So for me personally, I would have stuck with Mimi, but I understand you want to test your waters, test the speed. Old girl came and kissed you, then pulled you away to the room. It's kind of given that she wants you, and I'm not going to say that that isn't the case. So you've returned the favor by, you know, spending time with her. You've kissed her later on in the challenge, which we'll go and see later on as well. But the body language for me is speaking very loud. Her whole legs are away from him. So she's having to turn her neck in the most awkward position to even have a conversation with him. Why would she want to put herself in pain? Well, because the reality of the situation is she's not as open as she's making herself to seem, right? She's keeping herself guarded. What she's really saying in her mind is, I'm not going to allow you to get in. I'm going to have control of our negotiations and our conversations. Whereas you can see Ayo is leaning in. He's already liking her, feeling her. This is his type. And you can see that in his body language. How his whole body is slanting towards her angle. It's slanting that angle. And he's opened himself up a little bit. He wants her. Right? And we didn't have to have body language to do that, but I like to show it through the body language aspects, right? All right, cool. Let's go to the next part. I want to show you the conversation between himself and Mimi, because I think that's also important. Because watch this part. I'm going to show you something, what happens. As the body language changes, and I'm not sure what happens here.
Especially you.
Hi guys.
What are you telling me, Mimi?
Can I steal you for a second?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Boom. Okay, now I don't know if it's on purpose, because Uma's a little bit of a game player, okay? I don't know if the body language changed immediately when when they saw Mimi coming, or whether it was changed before. I can't say either or, but let me take the most, you know, let's take the route, right? Body language shifts because they see Mimi coming over, right? Probably don't want to get into trouble. But then her body is now open towards him. Look where she's gone from. She's gone from turning her body away from him to to suddenly her body now facing him, lying on her side, right? Wasn't open to now suddenly being open. And I remember I showed you this about her and Joey, that when she was talking with Joey, she changed her leg. So she had her leg crossed over her right leg over her left leg, which was blocking Joey. And then towards the end, she opened it and then she closed it again. I think Uma's somebody who rides the wave. She likes to she's gauging the interest of the individual person. And when she feels like maybe she's letting the person slip, she pulls them back in. Now, I know you're probably thinking, that's a bit much. Like, someone's thinking all those things. But remember, a lot of these behaviors are not conscious. They're subconscious. Let me give you an example. When you're annoyed at somebody, right? Like your partner, you're angry. Do you want to hug them? Do you want to sit on the couch and be all lovey-dovey? No, it's subconsciously you're not going to do that, right? Because you're pissed off. You don't want to be next to them right there, right? So your body instantly puts you in a position where I don't want to sit too close to him. I still love you, but I don't want to sit close to you. Because you're vexed and your emotions are dictating your body language. So when I see this and I see Uma, I know that she rides away. When she senses that maybe you're pulling away a little bit, she pulls you back in, right? Or when you're too close, she puts her brakes on again, right? And we see this most importantly earlier on, actually, earlier on, because of the way she reacts to him at this point. Let me show you at the point of the kiss, right? That she was almost disgusted at this point. Like, let's look at this part here, yeah? Watch this. She was almost disgusted.
Like for 2 seconds.
What do you mean by that?
Just meaning there should have been more seconds added to that.
Just like the cuddles, in due time.
Oh, this is all within a couple of days.
Okay, so I mean, disgust was probably a stronger word than it needs to be. But what she was doing again is making sure that she has control of the dynamics between herself and Ayo. Like when he said, I was thinking about the kiss, and later on we find out that she told the girls that, oh, I thought he was going to kiss me. She wanted to make sure she dictated it. And that's not a problem. I'm not beefing it. I'm just giving you a little bit of understanding of what will happen, right? So she's like, oh, in due time. Just to let you know, just like the kiss and the cuddle, I'll let you know in due time, right? Now, like I said, when someone does that, they're trying to control the dynamics between the two of you. But it also can be a case of the person may not be very open emotionally, right? That's why they're able to play that game with you. They're not. You see, when we talk about attachment styles, like secure, avoidant, and anxious, and then fearful, avoidant, right? Oftentimes, the dismissive are looking for control, and the anxious are looking for control. The anxious tries to control through leaning in and trying to show affection, love, and everything by leaning in and showing all that emotion to try and control you. The avoidant tries to lean away when there's too much emotion going on. The fearful avoidant does a bit of both, okay? Right? You lean in too much, they want to lean away. You lean out, they want to lean in, right? But secure people tend to keep a very good balance. They can give you where they're open with their emotions, but they're not trying to be defensive, right? They don't mind putting their heart on the line. They don't put it too much, but they don't mind putting their heart on the line. And because they found a good balance, right? But whenever we start playing these games of power, right? Like I know I play these games, it's because you're one of the attachment styles. And the reason being is because you're always trying to defend yourself and make sure you don't get hurt, right? Like you don't get embarrassed. And so I saw that incident, like she's trying to control the dynamics between herself and Ayo. And because Ayo is leaning in a bit much, he's liking her a lot. She's trying to stop the press. And it's like, okay, I see it. She wants to control how quickly he gonna move. I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? I understand. And it's more than likely because actually it's probably not her first type. Right? Her first type seems to be the likes of Ronnie and them's. Let's be honest. Ayo doesn't seem to be her first type. I can't lie to you. Just because he's Nigerian, it wasn't given. The girl couldn't even pronounce Ayo. Okay? She's like, hey, yo. And that told me everything. Culturally, she's not even the same thing. Okay? Culturally, she's not even there yet, bro. You know what I mean? That told me all I need to know. If you were pronouncing his name wrongly, that Ayo instead of Ayo, and you Nigerian as well? Oh, yeah. Your culture is a bit different. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Okay. Let's quickly look at the body language of him and Mimi a little bit later on. There's a little bit of awkwardness I want to show you as well, because I felt like this was quite interesting as well, because this was when Mimi had come back. I want you to look at this body language by her as well. Look at this part here.
Still taking it in. Should have been me, but...
Swear.
Oh,
What?
oh,
Me?
what?
Stop it.
Look how awkward it is.
You're being...
It's very, very awkward between the two of them, because obviously she came back and we didn't know what was going to happen to her, right? But they end up sitting down, and when they end up sitting down, that's actually where, well, I said sitting down, he ended up sitting down. But the distance between the two of them had now become awkward. He no longer hugged her, no longer held her hand. Now, you remember when he wanted to take her away to talk? How he was holding her hand? Now he's no longer doing that. Now it's very, very awkward. Have a look at this, all right? Look at the gap between the two of them. Now, watch the mirroring of the behaviors. Look how they're both, when he folded his arms, she started folding her arms. She started mirroring his behavior, right? Because she's trying to figure out what's in his head. And we saw that last episode where she said, I don't know what's in your head no more. When it actually was him saying in the previous episodes, I don't know what's in your head. Now she doesn't know what's in his head because now she's confused because he's no longer interested just in her, but he's also interested in Uma. So when he folded his arms and sat down, she also folded her arms in mirroring him, right? Because she's also trying to keep safe. Like if I mirror you, then it means that, okay, it's almost like when you're texting somebody and they text 5 minutes later, so you text 5 minutes later. Then they text an hour later, so you text an hour later. It's like you mirroring them because you don't want to do too much, right? And I think that's what's happening here between him and Mimi as well. And I think my final one, and I'll show you. You can have a little look at this. Actually, I'll play it before we actually go anywhere. And they got both folded arm. Look, they're mirroring. She kind of closes the gap a little bit. Walks around, and then nothing really happens after that, right? Because they're now in this awkward position as well. Okay, so look at this part here, right? I want to show you this part. Oh, no sound, sorry.
Reassuring.
How do you feel about your situation with Omar?
All right, cool. I didn't show you the proper part, my bad. But on the sofa, and I'll get to in a second, her legs, okay, as always, Mimi's always showing you how she feels about Ayo, okay? All right, because the way she sits towards him, her whole body's inside of him. Like her whole body is inside of Ayo all the time. Right, and we saw this from earlier on in the season when I showed you when she was facing her whole body turned on the sofa and her whole body was facing him, and she showed that she liked him, and she hasn't stopped that particular behavior and that body language. Now, Ayo's a bit more better this time round. He's no longer facing forward. He's now giving her the eye contact. Let me show you as well, guys. Sorry. Here you go, look at this. You can see her whole legs are on the sofa now. Her whole body's facing him. There isn't a part of her body that's not facing him. And that's showing again that she's interested very much so in him. Umar may be there, but it's not the one that she wants. Okay, it's gonna be Ayo. And she's already deeply invested. And that's her body language, right? Facing him completely. So it's gonna be an interesting battle. But yes, for me, Umar doesn't feel Ayo like that. I don't know if she will get to that stage. I don't even think any of the guys in there that really her type, apart from, well, I mean, we know that she kissed Ronnie, but that's about it. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I think that aspect was kind of crazy. One last thing, I want to show you Ronnie and Jess, because Ronnie does something which is really interesting. He's still doing this thing. I don't think he's even convinced about Harriet. Let me show you. Okay. Let me show you this part here. Hopefully it gets to a part where it shows it. The sound is gone.
Like.
Clip is way too long. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can get it for you guys as well, because I think because he does something really powerful, right? I've got it. There we go. He does something really interesting, which he did with also his other Mrs. Jess, yeah, is his leg, his crossover legs. If you watch this part here, look at his leg position again. Similar with what he did with Jess. His left leg goes over and it blocks the other party, right? And watch Harriet's leg. Her right leg goes over too. And the reason why is because they're tentative. They're flirting, but they're tentative, right? Nobody wants to give away their position. Harriet's just come off the madness of Kieran, and Ronnie's also still dealing with Jess. But he did this behavior with Jess as well. His left leg was always blocking Jess. That guy's not convinced by Jess or convinced by Harriet. He just likes to flirt. I don't think he's found his type yet. When he does, that leg is going to go down. But that leg keeps coming up and it keeps blocking the person when the leg is there. Harriet's leg is also there. They're tentatively trying to test each other and see who's going to crack first. Really and truly. You know what I'm saying to you? But anyway, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Listen, and if you're in doubt, listen, sign up to our coaching. It's your favorite coach here. We like to talk about relationships, whether you're single, married, divorced. Shout me. You know what I mean? I'm here to help you guys and make sure you guys get the best advice possible. All right? And we'll see you again soon. Much love, appreciation.